Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I think we're ready to go. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Here.
Representative Petrie.
Here.
Representative Thomas.
Present.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Here.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes, ma'am. We do have a quorum. And do I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion by Senator Howe, second by my co-chair Girdler. And any objections? Okay, Catherine, would you please report the informational items?
Pursuant to KRS 26A1681, KRS 45793, and KRS 45818, the Administrative Office of the Courts, the Finance and Administration Cabinet with the Commonwealth Office of Technology reporting independently, and post-secondary institutions managing their own capital construction under KRS 164A580 transmitted quarterly capital project status reports. Pursuant to KRS 45765, the University of Kentucky reported 2 National Institute of General Medical Sciences federally funded purchases of research equipment totaling nearly $500,000 for the Healthy Kentucky Research Building, an $825,000 National Science Foundation federally funded purchase of electronic data filtering infrastructure for Lease lab, and a $248,800 restricted fund purchase of an ablation navigation system for UK Chandler Hospital. There was recent press coverage regarding EDUS Lab where an entire word was read for the Herculean Palladium scrolls utilizing EDUS Lab's research, as well as coverage relating to UK's receipt of the National Institute of General Medical Sciences Centers of Biomedical Research Excellence. Pursuant to KRS 45769, the Administrative Office of the Courts, Office of State Budget Director, and post-secondary institutions managing their own capital construction under KRS 164A 580 transmitted annual capital projects reports. Pursuant to KRS 45810-6, the Office of Financial Management submitted the annual report of outstanding debt on behalf of state entities and post-secondary institutions authorized to issue debt. Pursuant to KRS 48111-6A, the Division of Real Properties reported its pending Cabinet for Health and Family Services lease invitation for 10,199 square feet of replacement office space with 68 reserved parking spaces in Harlan. Pursuant to KRS 5686311, the Kentucky Asset Liability Commission transmitted its semi-annual report for the Office of Financial Management.
Thank you, Catherine. We'll now move to agenda item number 4, which is a school district debt issue. I think Ryan Barrow is here remotely, changed to the agenda, to discuss 4 school district debt issues with SFCC participation, and I would like a motion and a second to. Motion by Senator Howell, second by Representative Thomas. Any objections from members? Okay, Mr. Barrow, you may begin.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you working through my conflict today and moving me up in the agenda, but I can promise a very light agenda for your consideration today. The 4 SFCC schools, 2 independent, Augusta and Elizabethtown, and Lee County and Spencer County. There's an estimated par of just under $20 million, with the local being about 17.5 in the balance of SFCC supported, which is just under 9% of total estimated par. They are all new money transactions due to high interest rates. We'll see a light calendar of refundings going forward. There's no tax increase necessary to finance any of these projects, and we do respectfully request approval.
Okay, any questions from members? Okay, seeing no questions, I do have a motion and a second to approve the 4 SFCC debt issues. Motion by Senator Girdler, second by Senator Howe. Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Yes. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes, the 4 issues are approved. Thank you, Mr. Barrow.
Yep.
Okay, next up, we hear from the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, and Sandy Williams is also here remotely to present these items. One is Fund B loan and 30 Cleaner Water Program grants. And could I also have a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote? Motion by Senator Howe.
Second.
Second by Senator Girdler. Any objections from members? Ms. Williams, you may begin.
Thank you, Chair Fraser Gordon and members of the committee. I'm Sandy Williams, Executive Director with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Pursuant to KRS 224A100, the authority will present the one loan and 30 grants for the committee's review. First, our Fund B Infrastructure Revolving Fund. The city of Flatwoods has a Fund B loan request in the amount of $450,000 for their Federal Way sewer line project. The project will replace approximately 4,800 linear feet of aging 4-inch clay lines with 8-inch PVC pipe. This 20-year loan will have an interest rate of 1.25% interest and was approved at KIA's October 5th board meeting. In looking at the grants, I would like to call special attention to the East Kentucky State Aid Funding for Emergencies grants. The EK Safe grants were appropriated in the 2022 special session under Senate Bill 1. The funding is to be administered by the Department of Military Affairs Division of Emergency Management. It is a separate fund to provide financial assistance for those located in areas named in the Presidential Declaration of a Major Disaster and impacted by the July 2022 storms and flooding that occurred in the Eastern Kentucky region. And again, to help those citizens recover from the devastation caused by the storms and the flooding. An eligible entity to be eligible, one eligible entity type is a state agency. So to assist the high ground subdivisions in Knott and Perry counties, the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority did apply for funding that will go directly to these utilities to provide sewer and water service to the Olive Branch high ground subdivision, water and sewer to Skyview Estates, and also water and sewer to Chestnut Ridge. So again, these, it shows up as 10 separate projects, 10 separate grants. That's the way the utilities requested the funding. So again, KIA did apply to the Department of Military Affairs to receive some of the EK Safe funding, specifically and only for these high ground subdivisions to assist them in administering their water and sewer projects for those three, again, Olive Branch, Skyview, and Chestnut Ridge. The remainder of the grant funding, those are the traditional cleaner water grants that the committee is used to seeing. Some of the grants are reallocations, and then some of those grants are supplemental funding. So what we have found so 5 are reallocations from previously presented projects, 15 are increases to existing projects. So we did want to bring that to the committee's attention. Again, those are the traditional changes to the cleaner water grants that the committee is familiar with seeing. And we respectfully request the committee's approval of the loan and the grants today.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Are there any questions from members? Okay. Seeing no further questions, do I have a motion and a second to approve the 31 Kentucky Infrastructure Authority Motion by Senator Howell. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Co-Chair Girdler. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes, the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority transactions were approved. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much.
All right. Item C, next is the Cabinet from Economic Development, your favorite double K presentation. We have Katie Smith and Kylie Palmer here in person.
You fired the other K?
She is
She
at
took
a,
a promotion.
she's at our conference. There's a conference in Covington today, so she
Well, you'll
was.
be fine. Well, what's your first name?
Thank you. I'm Sarah. Thank you. I'm Sarah Butler. I am the Deputy Commissioner for the Department for Financial Services at the Cabinet for Economic Development.
Thank you both for being here. And I'll also need a motion and a second to roll these into one roll call vote, if I may. Motion by Senator Howell, second by Co-Chair Girdler. Any objections? Okay, please proceed.
Thank you so much. So today we have two projects to present. This will bring us up. We have a few remaining for round one that we're working through, and we are also right in the mix of our round two. The reviews are being done on those, and we hope to have an update on that in the near future. The two that we have for you today, the first is the City of Owensboro, on behalf of Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation, was approved by KEDFA for a $211,750 KPDI EDF grant project. This is to complete the due diligence studies on the 184-acre Massey property. This is a planned new industrial site there in Davis County. Matching funds are provided through local funds, and the total potential investment for this project is $423,500. Next, we have Martin County Fiscal Court on behalf of the Martin County Economic Development Authority. This was approved for a project with a potential investment of $220,000. Project is seeking to improve and renovate an existing industrial building located in the Eastern Kentucky Business Park. Matching funds are through a local grant, and the project was approved for a $110,000 KPDI EDF grant. Both projects were identified by the Independent Site Selection Group, and they were recommended by Secretary Knoll, and we have a signed concurrence letter from Secretary Johnson. These projects were presented to KEDFA at our September 28th KEDFA board meeting and is presented to State Property and Building Commission on October 18th. We ask for your approval.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from members? Yes, Senator Funky Fromeyer.
I do always love to see these projects, and I apologize, I didn't get to see all the detail. Did it provide us any perspective of what they might do with the property?
On which one? I'm so sorry. On your.
Oh, I'm
asking
sorry,
about-
the city of Owensboro.
That's okay.
The 184-acre Massey property.
So they're planning to have a new industrial site there at the Davis County. At that, it's a development of a new industrial park.
Okay, so it doesn't really provide prospects as to who might go into the industrial park?
Not at this time. No, but
Okay, thank you.
no. Thank you.
Representative Petrie.
Just a comment on that, to make sure that PDI program is thought about in a certain way. The independent evaluator that looked at this potential project assesses not only what is it, but what business probabilities there may be given circumstances in and around that region of someone willing to locate if certain improvements are made, and only if there's a what I call business probability rather than a pipe dream would they recommend that they receive funding. Is that correct?
Yes, that assists in the scoring and review.
So
Yes.
they would not say individual prospects, but they would say generically in the context of, yes, this looks like it has probability to it.
That is correct.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Seeing no further questions, can we have a motion and a second, please? Motion by Senator Howell. Second by Senator Funky Fromeyer. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler. Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you both for being here. These grants are approved. Next on the agenda, number 5, is lease reports from the post-secondary institutions, University of Kentucky. Elizabeth Baker, I believe, is here in person. We have one new lease and one lease modification, and we can roll these into one vote as well. Motion by Senator Howell,
Second.
second by Co-Chair Girdler.
I wish you'd hurry up and move, wouldn't you?
Ms. Baker, you may begin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. The new lease is for 11,500 square feet that will be located on the first floor of Eastern State Hospital in Lexington. It will house UK Healthcare's new Emergency Psychiatric Assessment Treatment Health Program, or our EMPATH program. It is at a cost not to exceed $310,000 a year. The second is an amendment to an existing lease with our King's Daughter Family Practice and Urgent Care Clinic in Ironton, Ohio. It is for 15,277 square feet with an annual cost of $481,716.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from members? Okay, seeing none, to have a motion and a second to approve these 2 UK lease transactions. Motion by Senator Howe, second by Co-Chair Girdler. We're on a roll. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. These UK lease transactions are approved. Let's see, Janice Thomas is here in person to present agenda item 6, 7 items requiring action and 5 items requiring no action. I have a motion and a second to roll the 7 action items into one roll call vote. We have a motion by Senator Howe and a second by nod of Senator Girdler. No objections. Ms. Thomas, please begin. Oh, please begin with the action items. And then after we vote on those, then you can continue with the remaining items.
Move for approval.
You're used to sitting in that recliner at the house.
When I first sat in this chair, I thought I was sitting on the floor, so I had to do a few adjustments. Thank you. Okay. Hello, my name is Janice Thomas, Deputy State Budget Director. And as you said, I'm here to present 12 projects today, and I'll start with the action items in the order that you have them, and thanks for rolling the few together that you did. First is a capital construction equipment purchase contingency fund allocation for the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, Department of Corrections Relocation of Medical Services project, which is a unique facility with specialized requirements. This project contributes to the planned transition out of Kentucky State Reformatory, along with the current expansion of Little Sandy Correctional Complex. The allocation in the amount of $27,180,900 from the Capital Construction Equipment Purchase Contingency Fund account represents a 15% increase to the current project appropriation of $181,226,000, which brings the new total project appropriation to $208,409,000. The authority is pursuant to KRS 45770, subsection 2A.
Any questions? Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you. Next are the 5 new projects for post-secondary education, KCTCS, with authorization pursuant to KRS 164A.575, subsection 15. And all were approved by the KCTCS Board of Regents at its September 22nd meeting. Starting with the nursing program renovation, Big Sandy CTC, Pikeville, establishment of a new capital project to renovate classrooms and labs at the Pikeville Regional Technical Center to house the nursing education program. This program is being relocated from the Summit Building at Pikeville Medical Center to the newly renovated space. The renovation will also allow for expansion of the emergency medical technician, paramedic, and nurse aide training programs. The project is funded from federal funds in the amount of $1.5 million. Next is the mobile healthcare labs, Owensboro CTC, establishment of a capital equipment purchase for 2 mobile labs in the amount of $2 million from federal funds. The project is funded with state fiscal recovery funds appropriated by the 22 General Assembly for Commonwealth West Healthcare Workforce Innovation Center. The mobile labs will service 16 counties in western Kentucky, providing access to higher education for students who may not choose to attend traditional college due to location and life challenges. Third is roof replacement, Franklin Center, South Central Kentucky, CTC, to replace the roof of Franklin Simpson Center at South Central Kentucky Community and Tech College. The project is funded with restricted funds in the amount of $1.2 million. And fourth is the signage, South Central Kentucky CTC, new construction signage with lettering and video boards at the main campus of South Central Kentucky Community and Tech College. The project will include removal of existing sign, site development, decorative fencing, lighting, and landscaping. The project is funded with restricted funds in the amount of $1.2 million. And last of the KCTC projects is acquire property, BCTC, Winchester, to acquire property at Bluegrass Community and Tech College, Winchester campus. The project will also allow BCTC to purchase an existing 80,040 gross square feet building with 15.42 acres, 804 parking spaces in close proximity to the Winchester campus. The new facility will allow for the expansion of nursing program at the campus and for future expansion of dual credit, workforce training, and CDL programs in the area. The project is funded with restricted funds in the amount of $4 million.
Okay, then are you also here to present an amendment on a new project?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead and with that one, and then we'll do our vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is new project amendment of federal funds for the General Government Department of Military Affairs Cypress Creek Restoration Project at the Wendell H. Ford Training Center in Greenville. The increase of $2 million is for phase 1 of construction and will bring the project total to $3,326,021, which is 100% federally funded. This environmental project will enhance the flow of Cypress Creek. It was developed because of the negative impacts to the ecosystems with the Cypress Creek watershed. The authority is pursuant to 45.760 paren 7.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from members on those 7 projects? Representative Petrie.
Just very quickly on number A1, capital construction equipment purchase contingency account. On that one, do you know what kind of balance is in that contingency account before this transfer took place and how much would be in there after it takes place?
I sure do. Let me look. There was a letter from the state budget director on September 27th transferring $4,183,415.23. And along with that, it got to the balance needed of $27,183,900. So now the balance is zero. So we only transferred enough money to meet the need for this project.
May I ask, were there any other funds transferred from any other account to meet the needs, or was that account sufficient to meet it?
That was sufficient.
Okay, but it's zero at this point.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
It may have some change in there. I don't, a couple $100, but net effect zero.
Okay. Can we have a motion and a second, please? Motion by Senator Howell.
I'll move with it.
Second by Co-Chair Girdler. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Senator Howell.
Aye.
Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes, those 7 action items are approved, and you may continue with the 5 remaining projects requiring no action.
Thank you. Next is an emergency repair, maintenance, or replacement project with authorization pursuant to 45750G and KRS 45780. It is the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, Department of Corrections, Green River Correctional Complex, Fire Building K Powerhouse project. It's an increase of $320,000 from the 22-24 maintenance pool for emergency electrical systems upgrade to existing restricted insurance proceeds funding of $1,142,000, bringing the amended total appropriation to $1,462,000. An electrical fire caught due to a faulty gear switch, destroying all the electrical components in the K building, also known as the powerhouse. GRC has been using the Lease generator to power the facility that caused some damage. The request for the additional $320,000 is due to the need of replacement damage by the extended runtime in that K building fire. Thank you. The last four are pool projects in excess of $1 million. First is the Finance and Administration Cabinet Finance Facility Support Services Central Lab Chiller project in the amount of $2,111,235 is funded from the 22-24 HVAC replacement rebuild pool. The project will replace the chillers at the Central Lab building in Frankfort, which houses employees from the Kentucky State Police, Energy and Environment, and the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. The second pool project is the Finance and Administration Cabinet Finance Facilities Berry Hill Mansion Miscellaneous Repairs Project in the amount of $3,679,846 and is funded from the 2022 Maintenance Pool and the 22-24 Historic Properties Deferred Maintenance Pool. Built in 1900, the property is in need of various repairs to preserve its integrity. The property serves as an event facility and houses state offices on the second floor. Third is the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet Department of Corrections Blackburn Correctional Complex new gymnasium building in the amount of $2,771,000, funded with $186,000 from the 2022 maintenance pool and the remaining funds from the 22-24 maintenance pool. This project is to provide recreational areas for the inmates to have access to physical and recreational activities to maintain American Correctional Association accreditation. And the last project, pool project I'm reporting, is the KCTCS Big Sandy Community and Technical College Prestonburg Campus East Kentucky Science Building projector system in the amount of $288,100 funded from the KCTCS equipment pool. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, thank you for those updates. Are there any questions from members? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you.
Okay, last on our agenda is we're going to be hearing remotely from Natalie Bronner. Is here to present agenda item 7, which is a lease modification from the Finance and Administration Cabinet. And you may begin, Ms. Bronner.
Thank you and good afternoon. Again, my name is Natalie Bronner and I'm the Director of the Division of Real Properties. The only item I'm reporting today is a lease modification for PR 5611, which is a lease for the Public Protection Cabinet Department of Alcoholic Beverages in Franklin County. Per KRS 56813, this lease modification is associated with leasehold improvements necessary to accommodate the requirements of ABC for a secured evidence receiving and storage facility. An estimate was obtained for the improvements totaling $104,425 from Hannah Family Trust. The negotiated responsibility for the agency is $35,000, which will be amortized through the lease term of June 30th, 2026. This lease modification is being reported to the committee pursuant to KRS 5682311.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from members? Okay, thank you, Ms. Bronner.
Thank you.
This brings us to the end of our agenda. The next meeting date for November is the November 15th at 3 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Senator Howe, second by Co-Chair Girdler. We are adjourned. Thank you.